All right, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you are excited. We got the watch list coming out tonight at 7 p.m. Pacific, and we're trading live tomorrow, so get ready for that. But more importantly, we're going to talk about something I've wanted to talk about, and I want to hear your guys' opinions on technical analysis. So I'm going to share with you guys two of my favorite technical analysis indicators, as well as talk about my real thoughts and the truth behind technical analysis, more or less. However, I want you guys to comment below. I want you to, I want to go over something here. I'm going to talk about it, kind of get a rant. I would have done this on my camera, but I messed up my SD card. But I want to talk about this, and I want you guys to post below. What are your favorite indicators? What technical patterns and stuff do you use? And we could even use this to see what the cult likes technical analysis wise. So I'm interested to see. So I'm going to share mine. I want you guys to do the same. And I'm going to talk about some things I feel, because I came to a realization. This is actually inspired even from the stream we had last night, because someone even asked me, about what my favorite pattern was. And I thought about it, and I usually am not always into the patterns, if anybody who knows that, and I have my own pattern, so that's what inspired this. So I'm going to share with you guys my pattern. So I'm going to share with you too one I invented, where we'll talk about that. So let's get into it. Before anything though, you guys, make sure you drop a like on the video. It helps the channel out. And also, all of these, I'm posting so many videos, so you have to make sure you like it so YouTube recommends all of them to you and you don't miss them. And make sure on the stream that's pinned in the comment section below. We are live 30 minutes before market tomorrow, and the watch list tonight. So let's talk about this. I don't know where to start, whether we go over these patterns here and some of these, and I don't know how many of you have hold this, even when I just Google technical analysis, and any of you guys do, and I think we should start there. It's the study of this, and right off the bat, I'll tell you guys, anybody who knows me, I don't use technical analysis, so I don't use any indicators, this and that. However, I do look at charts, so that's kind of weird for people at first glance, especially if you're just starting out. You're like, what do you mean you're looking at charts but not doing technical analysis? I'm really just looking at price action. And again, there is certain technical things I do look at, like something technical analysis wise is even just support and resistance. Those are really patterns you see in the chart. And again, even with price movement and price action as well, but that's technical. I like that. I like looking at that. Volume is technical. I'm a big fan of volume. If any of you guys have watched me trade, and you know that, I love my other favorite. This is one of the two I use, is the average volume line. These are all technical. I like them. However, I've never been a fan of these. When it comes to the movement, I've never looked for ascending triangles, triple bottoms, descending triangles. And how many of you have heard? I think all of you have heard about this, or if you're starting to trade, you've came across this somehow. And again, it seems very, technical analysis is very alluring, because it even says, you Google it, there's even the first articles that come up, it's literally all just, why technical analysis is so important. It's highlighting everything. They even relate it to trading psychology. Now, if you guys, again, if you've listened to the streams, you've seen my videos, you know how I feel about trading psychology, the mindset, and getting into trading, and how important that is. And technical analysis has some aspects of that, in the sense that, and we've talked about this, it is a self-fulfilling prophecy. How it could affect trading psychology is if you understand that people are going to use certain things and certain indicators, and if at certain formations, it's going to attract volume and certain stuff. And now the next level, which kind of goes a little deeper, is that certain technical patterns, not only is it drawing in humans, but some people, and again, some programs are set up by algorithms, CTAs and stuff like that. So that is the interesting take on it. But again, so I think it's wise to know, and that's what I'm saying. I want you guys to share it. I don't use them, but it's good to be aware of them. That's why I want to see what you guys are looking at. I want to see, what you're looking at. And, even then, a lot of my friends in the hedge fund industry, investing, they know how I feel about it. And one of my buddies at a hedge fund, he showed me how they use the other indicator I'm going to show you, VWAP, and I actually have another video on it. But there's certain indicators, and for me, I like the technicals and the patterns that aren't so small or short term, So when this is appearing on like a daily, or if it's doing a day-to-day type thing or a shorter duration, I don't like it. I like the patterns or the technicals that only show up very so often, like the down Monday, down Friday, certain crosses of the 200-day and the 50-day moving average. I don't use those as indicators as much, but I give them more weight. So that's what it's starting with. And now, like I said from the beginning, and that's that. And you guys will see, how I use the charts. And this is inspired off the video I made yesterday. Like I said, I was on stream, and someone asked me what my favorite pattern was. And, it sucks. I guess you can't see the Friday, but the Friday option, because those weeks expired. But I talked about it, and I said my favorite pattern is theta and options. And I've noticed that, and again, if anybody who knows me, I've always knocked patterns, and I've always said patterns and technicals don't work. But I guess here's the thing we need to change with it. I guess my thoughts is that I guess we need to, the word has been hijacked more or less, because, or I think people's view of it, when you say technical analysis, it seems so smart and it seems so educated, and it seems like almost as in-depth as fundamental research and understanding valuations and stuff like that. But it's just, it's really simple, and it's actually based, it's kind of uniform, and it's applying the same one size shoes fits all to every sort of company. So those are reasons why I don't like it. But again, when you view it a different way, I've noticed myself, I've picked up on intricacies, or not even I wouldn't even call it intricacies through the market, but I've picked up on certain things that when I see stocks, like I notice for patterns, I look for how the value stocks move. I look for how, certain stocks move in relation. Those are patterns in a way, and I never realized I do kind of look for a pattern, or in the sense I pick up on certain aspects. So that's where I'm kind of like, giving a little bit more room here, because if someone said, oh, what pattern do you use? I was like, I don't use patterns, but I do actually, you pick up on little tricks, I guess is what I call it, of how certain assets and stocks move and during certain times. But, I love Fridays. Like I literally have a pattern for Fridays, and that's what I've been going over in the last watch list videos. So go over that. But again, putting that all into perspective, it blew my mind. So all in all, though, that's what I'm saying now, because what I want you guys to take away from this is, again, I want you guys to share your technicals, but if you're new or advanced at any level, I want you to understand, again, putting this all together, even with my realization, it came down to this. I think a lot of the technicals you see, these aren't based on anything crazy. Sometimes they're, like, again, the moving averages is data and the average moving price. And, sometimes there's theory behind it. Even technicals, like even market breadth, they have some logic behind it that makes sense at predicting moves. But again, a lot of these images you see, even though, again, some psychology comes in if people are using it, these are all just kind of stuff that people noticed in the market. That's it. It's just simply an observation that occurred kind of frequently, or people just liked it. It was kind of like part of their routine. And that's what I think it is. A pattern is a routine. And I think more these are kind of routines people made when they started to enter stocks, because sometimes it worked for them, sometimes it doesn't. But that was kind of their way to it was like the approach. I used to play, believe it or not, volleyball. It's like that two-step approach. They, like, oh, this is the approach for this. It's like they're trying to do it because, again, you don't know how the stock is going to move. You can't predict it. If you watch the earnings video I made yesterday, you don't know how the market is going to take things. You don't know at one point if anybody in the market is going to rush in with a buy or sell, even if they are manipulating the market. That's the best part about it. Capitalism, the rationale, a rational investor, they're self-interested. It's hard to you can manipulate things, but then again, if someone wants to act and they choose to dump a stock, and then the other guy panics and he does the same thing, somebody has to step in and do something. But you'd be surprised what could happen there. But again, all in all, though, I think these are routines people are having. That's what I think technicals are. We've called it astrology. And again, I'm not knocking it. I just don't use it. And that's what I've always said, you guys. Maybe I should have said that in the beginning. Use what works for you. If it is working for you and you're going through your trades and you have a high success rate with it, and trading technicals has been working out for you, keep doing it. Keep killing it, and utilizing. Like I said, it's not that I ignore these completely. I use them and I keep them in mind, and I try to capitalize on them, or at least, nothing is ever came good out of ignorance. So again, that's why I'm saying I don't want to be ignorant here. I want you guys to talk about it here in the comments, and at the same time, I'm letting you know my thoughts. I think if you guys are able to understand both thoughts, it could give you a really good understanding on the whole situation at hand. And lastly, before I forget, let me tell you guys about my last technical. It's VWAP. So again, the first technical is the average volume line, and that's one I like to use because one, I like to look at volume. Again, volume, price, support, and resistance. I like to look at price action. I like to, I'm trying to value and look at valuations. And we're splicing in some of the fundamentals. We're looking at the values related to the contracts, how the stocks are going to move. So you can see why price is so important to me. But what else is supply and demand and how stocks move? So volume is really important. That's why average volume line, that's my number one technical that takes the cake for me, because I like to see, are people, how is the volume correlating? How is the supply and demand at this certain moment in time, this certain day, and what effect is that having on price? So that helps me understand movement and even every single move at hand. And when you see above average moves in volume lines and substantially above average, it could let you indicate towards what the market's feeling. And why is the market all of a sudden really buying this more, selling this more at a certain percentile out of nowhere? So I love that one. Lastly is VWAP. So this is the only other one. My boy, again, support and resistance, I think those are good. And I use support and resistance, and again, I made up my own pattern. I have my own support and resistance, a way to find support and resistance above and below the traditional spots that I use, and they're kind of pretty good if you've ever seen me call them out on live. So I don't know, what do you guys want me to make? Should I make a list of all my Josh Answers patterns? But I think it's ridiculous. But again, that's what I'm saying. If you have the understanding that there's not patterns, it's just as much as it's just as simple, and give it as much weight as an observation, it could go a long way. So but that's what I'm saying. You just don't give it too much weight. It's not like it's anything crazy. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. But VWAP. So VWAP is the volume weighted average. So this line, it's telling you the price, and it's saying based on now a volume weighted average price. So again, it's taking into account volume and price, but now the stock may have dropped in price here because that's what the market was asking for at that time. But this is letting you know, different shares are getting traded at different prices. So if you take the dollar volume and average the amount of shares that went through at a price, it's giving you a weighted price. So volume based on the volume, so how many shares went through at a higher price, average price. So in this case, the stock was dropping lower here, but based on the volume that's been coming in, more volume went through at a higher average price. That's why the VWAP's higher. So this is trading below VWAP, and how they use this in hedge funds and investing for VWAP. If essentially they say you're supposed to buy below VWAP and sell above VWAP. That's what it is. If it's below the volume weighted average price, that means people have been paying more for it, or they have paid more. You're getting a better deal. If it's above VWAP, it's higher. But this is used by bigger companies, even the stocks, for buybacks, because they use the VWAP to enter and exit big positions to not upset the price. Because as you see, if they just dumped all at once, they could drop the price. So if you want to sell billions of dollars of shares, they're using the VWAP and using those price points. So I like that. And again, I use it at certain times with liquidity and certain events to see, because it's not, again, it's more accurate on the longer term time frames. But then again, when the markets are less liquid on the day-to-day, it really helps too. So I have another video on the VWAP going more in depth. You could just search that on the channel, but ask me about it in stream. But that's pretty much it, you guys. I want to hear your thoughts. Let me know about your technicals, and what do you think about this topic in general? I'm excited to hear what you guys have to say. I know you guys have probably been waiting for this, so let's get it. Get ready for the watch list tonight, and get ready for the stream in the morning. Let's go! And thumbs up the video and subscribe. Goodbye.